Hello, everybody. So we pretty much knew when Ronan Murphy became the Cam Colo that there was some deal going on in the background. And now we've seen the world independence, regional independence, I would say. Michael Lowry, along with Maddie and Arkin, and the Healy Ways too, have joined in with the government. So pretty much it's the same crack again. Nothing's going to change, unfortunately. Just to put it straight to you. Nothing will change. Maybe there'll be a few changes here and there, but pretty much nothing's going to change. Every young person my age in their 30s, and all the people that's growing up at the moment in our stage, all the Irish people have to leave our country to go and work other places because they can't afford to live. And not even the luxury life, just the basics. They can't afford the basics in life. And the only way they can afford is to leave our shores. And just to say that straight, we had an opportunity to change that. Unfortunately, the Irish people decided not to. And unfortunately, we will suffer the consequences for that. Unfortunately, nothing would change. Might as well be honest with you, and that's what I see. Because I don't see any change happening. It's pretty much Fine Gael's and Fianna Fáil independence, pretty much. So it's basically Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, pretty much one of the same. They might as well call themselves Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael together again, like not have two parties, because pretty much there's not to distinguish them from what the foundation of the state. There's not to distinguish. They're one and the same. They agree with everything. We're pretty much the same mouth, pretty much at the stage. And obviously then we have the world independence. So Michael Healy-Way is going to get a big job in the Department of Agriculture as a junior minister. Madeleine Alkin's most likely going to get Minister of Higher Education. We see what happens with the other positions. But we knew when the Cam Call was elected for Murphy that there was a deal done between Michael Lowry and the people there to get in to government, etc., etc. And the thing is, and I would love to say it's for people and it's for the people's good. I wouldn't say the common good. That's been tarnished a lot. That word around this place, around this country now. But for the people, for the Irish people, not for themselves. But I hate to say it, but it's all for money and power. Pretty much it is. That's all it is. Money and power. It's not about the Irish people. It's not for you. It's not for me. The people who are the Irish people, the Irish taxpayers who pay our taxes. Nothing will change for us, but for them it will change. Because it's all about money and power. As Sandra Mammon said the other day, that's what politics is nowadays, unfortunately. It's not for the good of the nation. As we seen back in the day during the War of Independence in our state, it wasn't for money and power. Even in the 1916 Rising, they never cared about money and power. They had a goal. The only goal was to free this country from occupation. And that was all their goal. Over in modern day, out in 100 something years on, money and power is everything. Irish people don't matter. Simple as that. Because it's just all about influence and power, and that's really it. And it's an unfortunate state of our country because we had such a great state of our country. And again, we had an opportunity to change that at the election. The Irish people decided not to. But as I said, the majority of young people now see their fate, pretty much. Because nothing will ever, we have to face reality that nothing's going to change in house. And immigration, people are still going to come in and Irish people go out. It doesn't make any sense, but look, and that's the way it is, I suppose. What can you do? Because the Irish people had a choice to change something and they didn't. So that's it. But that's democracy. And again, I respect that. It's democracy. And I do think the main thing was back then too, just talking out of my house, I suppose, here for a second. But the main thing was I think people didn't want a radical change. And particularly older people voted for Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael. It wasn't so much younger people. Because I don't think they understand, to be told, answer the hardships, because things have gone up too much, to be told. Like, nobody could really... I know people with big qualifications, and they still can't afford wet and stuff like that, and they wet the cottage and stuff like that. And when you see that, there's something very, very wrong in society when you see that. But yeah, pretty much nothing's going to change. In the nicest possible way, nothing will change at all. For anybody in this state, apart from the TDs, they get a big lump sum of money. They'll probably have a pay rise sooner or later. But for everybody else in the state, nothing will change. Pretty much. It's going to be the same old. Pretty much nothing will ever change. They still waste the public money or that. But we see what the Healy Ways, the main question for people would be, what's the Healy Ways going to do? Are the Healy Ways going to be a voice of reason in the government? We should see. I'm willing to give them a chance, but to be totally honest, especially with, as we see migration at the moment, they're benefiting financially from migration. So I don't foresee them standing up and saying we should have a cap on people coming in every year. I don't foresee them doing that or anything like that, or sending people home that shouldn't be here. I don't foresee it. Maybe they will. We'll see what happens. Oh, another issue too, but again, obviously they got loads of money for Kerry, for roads in Kerry and whatever in Kerry. But we should see. But I wouldn't have sold my soul, personally. I wouldn't have sold my soul to Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael for a few shekels. I wouldn't have done it. Simple as that, I wouldn't have done it. Because particularly the last few years we've seen time and time again legislation that is passed, the EU Migration Pact, the perfect example, selling away our sovereignty to the European Union. giving up our country pretty much to the European Union. And on other grounds too, another legislation, don't even go into the hate speech, but trying to restrict people's freedom of speech. Many other things I could go on for now. The different legislation I can go on. The possibilities are endless to me talking about different things. Like things that are against the Irish people's wishes and things that are against the Irish people that are selling the country out and really is. And they'll sell the country out. Unfortunately, Fianna Fáil Fine Gael will continue to sell the country out. They don't have any care for anybody. It's all about money and power for them. It's not about nation and people. It's about how much they can get out of the Irish people, how much they can sell away, pretty much. And it's a sad reality. It's sad for me to say that. I would love not to say it. I would love to be sitting here and say that everything would change, things would get better. But we have to face reality, because the same crowd have been in for the last 15 years, and nothing has really ever changed. Enda Kenny said he ended the trolley crisis, and that's a long time ago. And long behold, we're still here. We're still here. People lining the trolleys. People like my father had to wait 4 hours lying on the ground for an ambulance. So the trolley crisis never ended, pretty much. There's people in Cavan General Hospital lying for nights on the wards because they're on the trolleys in the corridors because there's no beds. So nothing ever changed. And Kenny said it was wrong to tax people on their properties. Nothing never changed. There's still property tax. I could go on and on and on and on, but you get the drift. And again, it's all about just putting people down, to be totally honest. That's what all it is. Because it's about money. It's just generally all about money. It's not about people anymore. It's not for the good of the nation or anything like that. It's all about profit. And we see this with the House, and particularly vulture funds, developers, big international developers are coming here, abusing the system, paying literally to no tax. The Irish government are benefiting, TDs are benefiting, they're getting cash into their hand, and the Irish people suffer for it. Nothing will ever change about it, because the main thing is Fianna Fáil Fine Gael wouldn't gone. They didn't get the boot. The Green Party did, but at the end of the day, Fianna Fáil Fine Gael should have got the boot for all they've done, all the damage they've done. They've done more damage than good. But please God, something will change. But unfortunately, my opinion is, and for the Healy-Raes, I give them a chance. I will give them the benefit of the doubt for a while. If they don't hold the government to account, like literally, give them a very, very hard time in every legislation they passed and stuff like that. Like make them sweat a lot. Like Micheál Martin should be sweating, like tripping sweat at this stage. Every time there's a bill going through the Oireachtas, because the Healy-Raes might vote against it, or the World Independence might bring down the government if they don't do what they want. But I don't think they have the backbone, to be totally honest. Michael Lowry, especially Michael Lowry, he's pretty much he's pretty much he might say he votes for everything. The same with Maddie and Arkin. There's not much difference between them. They're just basically Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil in the sky. So to be totally honest, whatever the Healy-Raes, we can argue about it till the cows come home. But I don't know. I hope for the best. I pray for the best, but unfortunately, I don't think anything will change. Unfortunately, I have to say that. And sadly, I have to say, I wish I could sit here and say everything will be fixed. Everything get better, but I don't think so. I generally don't think so, because they have an agenda of suffering. They have an agenda of destruction. They have an agenda of reconstruction too, of the Irish soul, the Irish nation, and that's the thing. It's all about this new way of life. Let's put it that way. But it's not about what happens in Dublin. It's what happens abroad, pretty much at this stage, that influences everything. It's a sad state of affairs, the country, but it's pretty much the same crack again, and it's a sad thing to say, because majority of young people I know, and again this is the people we should be thinking about, when I'm dead and gone, etc., etc. The young people that's growing up now, only 5-6 years old, what are they going to? We're facing it now, in 2025. The suffering now that the young people are facing, trying to buy a house, trying to pay the rent, just even that, just the basic function. What will our children face? That's what we need to think about. I think we have to stop thinking about ourselves and start thinking about the next generation, the children that are growing up now, because they deserve better. We've been failed, but we owe it to our children to make sure that they can have a life that we didn't have, and that's what I say. And we owe it, and I owe it to myself too, to the next generation, to be to speak up and to fight their battles, even though they're young and some of them aren't even born. We owe it to them. We don't owe it to ourselves, but we owe it to them to make sure that they have some kind of future in this country. And that's what I say. That's the last thing I say on it. But I would ask people to reflect on that point. But hopefully, please God, something will change, but not likely, unfortunately. Thank you.